What do you picture when you hear Kerry King or Slayer? And have you ever thought about it on acoustic? Like, he's watching right now, like, that's Savior of the Blood. Or I don't know any of their songs. I'm just making up stuff. Acoustics. What's up, guys, and welcome to the channel. This is Functional Friday, and I'm going to talk, a little bit about all my acoustics, but today I kind of wanted to start with this one. I'm going to restring it in a minute, but this is a Santa Cruz, small-bodied. As far as I can tell, this is about 10 years old or so. I bought it used from Music Emporium in Lexington, Mass, and as far as I can tell, this is the closest thing to it on the Santa Cruz website is a Janice Ian signature model, which is a small body single cut. And that's essentially exactly what this is. So I'm going to string it up. Let's hear what it sounds like. All right, in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about the Santa Cruz. It's a beautiful guitar, by the way. I love the design. There we go. I love their little logo. It's a great guitar. It has some wear and tear. It's quite old, and it's actually starting to form a crack right here, which I'm not wild about. I'm going to have to take it to the luthier and have it looked at. But I'm going to do a quick comparison audibly of some high-end guitars. Now, do take in mind, before I get started, they are all different guitars. So this one is a very small body. Here's my hand. There's the body. It's a very small body, right? I'll do the hand comparison every time, hopefully, right? My hand takes up more than half of the body. So it's a very small body. I like it for that. It's very travel friendly. So if I want to take it with me somewhere, camping, to a cabin, something like that, I don't have to worry about it taking up too much space. Keep in mind, as I go from guitar to guitar, this one is the smallest. The next one I'm going to play is the Collings. It's slightly bigger. It's going to be a little bit louder. And the last one is a Dreadnought. It's the Larrivee, which I've done a video on. You can see it here. And so all of them are going to be different volumes to a certain extent. I'll try to adjust post-production, but for the most part, they're going to be very different volumes. And what you want to listen for when you're checking out high-end acoustics is what tone speaks to you the best, what has the most of what you're looking for as a performer. So maybe it's a very like dull sound, and I know that sounds weird. You'd be like, why do I want a dull sound? But maybe that's what you're looking for in an acoustic. I think of like Martins. Martins have a very dull sound, but people love Martins. I'm not trying to say they're a bad guitar, but it's a very dull sound. You put that up against a Taylor, and they're night and day difference. Even if they have the same strings on, one is dark and dull, and the other one is super bright and over the top crisp. And sometimes I don't like either in certain scenarios, and sometimes I like them for what they are. So just think about that when you're checking out the video. So here we go. This is the Santa Cruz, the small body that they make with a single cut. Now it's a certain artist model, but this was prior to that artist, and it has no information inside. So I had to look on their website to try and figure it out. right, this is my Collings orchestra model. It's slightly bigger body. You can see my hand in comparison takes up just about half of the body, whereas in the Santa Cruz it took up a little bit more than half. It's a smaller body. This one is much bigger body than the last, and it has a different voice. So again, volumes are going to be different, but pay attention more to the voice and the timbre that you get. All right, this is the Larrivee. Let's see if we can get that in. There we go. And as you can see, this is a dreadnought size. My hand is tiny in comparison. So, yes, again, not even to the halfway point, or not even past the halfway point when it's all spread out like that. It's, quite a bigger guitar. Anyway, so here's what it sounds like. These guitars generally have a louder volume with a lighter touch, and they sound a little bit more produced, if that makes sense. They don't have as much of a unique character, which is what's cool about them. They kind of can fit as a background guitar with a lot of different things. So here we go. So is there a clear winner in a situation like this? No, there's not. The thing is, they're all different guitars and they all have really cool different vibes about them. I love playing the Santa Cruz when it's just me in the room and I'm teaching a lesson or I'm giving an example of something. I just like having it out all the time, and it's already dinged up, so if it gets banged up a little bit more, I'm not super upset. That being said, I will get that crack fixed as soon as possible because I do love that guitar and I think it fits my collection quite nicely. The Collings, on the other hand, is probably my favorite to gig with because it has the best electronic system in it and it sounds very natural. Also, it has a very unique voice that I have never heard in another acoustic, and it's probably, arguably, my favorite because of that. The Larrivee will always have a special place in my heart because it was partially a gift from my mom back when I was 16 years old. That guitar is old and it's in great condition, and I will always keep it that way and I will always own it. And it works great in settings where I would just need to back up people but maybe not take a lead. And that's where I think you can kind of find some of the nuances. I think for fingerstyle or for lead playing, the Santa Cruz and the Collings kind of take it to the next level because of the body design, not necessarily because they're better guitars. Whereas the Dreadnought, the Larrivee, it has a more natural reverb and a more blended sound. So its notes can kind of get lost a little bit in the mix of performance. They don't cut as much on the mix, which is what's great if you're playing rhythm behind a whole bunch of singers or in a band and you don't want the guitar to really cut that much. You just want that pad of acoustic guitar. So there you have it. Those are the three guitars that are the three acoustic guitars that I own, and my opinion of all three. Comment below if you want me to do another video on them. I know that my Larrivee video is one of the most watched videos that I have. So I'm happy to keep doing a couple of these because I find them very interesting, and I do love all of these guitars a lot. So yeah, comment below, give me some input, and like the video and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next week.